Hello, if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Peter Stefanatos. I'm an agent with Compass. Today, we're going to be talking about the most frequently asked questions when selling your mainline home. So if you're thinking about selling your home on Philadelphia's main line, whether you're downsizing, relocating, there's a lot to consider. The main line is one of the most desirable areas in all of PA, with two of the most expensive zip codes being within the main line, Villanova and Gladwin. But in this video, we're gonna go over everything you need to know to sell your home quickly, confidently, and for top dollar. So let's get into it. Question number one, what's the market like right now? As of spring in 2025, the main line remains a high demand, low inventory market, especially in sought after districts like Radnor Township, Tredyffrin, and Lower Merion. Well-priced and presented homes in these areas are typically selling in under 14 days with multiple offers. Luxury homes are moving a little bit slower, but are still able to sell within 30 days if well-priced and marketed properly. And buyer demand actually saw a bit of a jump in April. We saw inventory jump around 20%, but buyer demand jump an additional 30% from March. So although some more inventory came in, buyer demand outpaced it. But the key takeaway here for a mainline seller, if your home is well-priced and marketed properly, it will sell quickly. Question number two, how do I know what my home is worth on the main line? Online estimates are not enough for the main line as they can vary greatly from block to block. You'll need a detailed comparative market analysis from a local agent that breaks down school district, home condition, renovations, repairs that might need to be made, recently sold comps nearby, not going much over a mile, and unique features like stonework, historic charm, lot size, or other unique features that are not as common in other properties. I'll give you a quick example here. Zillow actually had an estimate on my neighbor's house. I live in Villanova, and one of my neighbor's houses sold last year. And the Zillow estimate was around $850,000 for that house. That home sold that year for $1.7 million. Do not trust the Zillow estimates. Do not trust Realtor.com's estimates. Redfin's estimates are honestly really bad. Unbelievable low balls. Especially for the main line, you do not want to trust these online estimates as they are typically way off. If you're curious how much your home would go for in this market, I'll make you a free CMA. My number and email is right here. You can send me a text, give me a call anytime you'd like, whatever works for you. And I'd love to help you understand the value behind your property because I'm sure many people are just looking at the Zillow estimate and they think that's how much their house is worth when on the main line, that's not how it works. So feel free to reach out. Question number three, should I make repairs or sell as is? Buyers on the main line expect quality and move-in ready homes, and not doing so will cost you. For example, some recommended improvements are, repainting, some lighting upgrades, minor landscaping, kitchen and bathroom refreshes. I'm not saying to gut your entire kitchen before you're looking to sell it, but a few pieces of hardware or grout replacing or just deep cleaning will go a long, long way. Because even if it's old, if it's clean, it's much better. Now, when selling your home as is, you're not going to get those move-in ready buyers, which is the typical mainline crowd, as not many want to do work. So selling in as-is condition, you're typically going to be marketing to a couple that wants to do the work, which is very rare, or a flipper, a contractor, where you're not going to get top dollar in these situations, but you'll still be able to sell them quick due to the location. Question number four, do I need to stage my home to sell it on the main line? Yes, you need to stage your home. Mainline buyers are looking for magazine level preparation and staging. You have to understand in all of PA, this is one of the most expensive places to live. So you're competing with other listings where there is magazine quality. Professionally staged homes will get more eyes, which will lead to more traffic, which will lead to more offers. When these homes are fully staged, buyers can see themselves living there. And I know what you're saying. There's no way, if someone saw a home completely gutted versus staged, they're gonna have the same attraction to it. No, not at all. When people can see themselves living somewhere, it only makes them want it more. We have professional stagers, lighting stagers, decorators within our team that help with these things to ensure that the staging and marketing of the property is taken very seriously. Question number five, what kind of marketing do you use to sell mainline homes? Marketing matters more than ever, especially in this area. And here's things that we offer. Professional photography and house tours. I'm not sure if you guys saw my last listing. We listed around 1.2. We sold it for 1.3 in just 3 days. And a part of the reason was we had a lot of showings. We squeezed them in a short amount of time. We also had video tours out, full photos, and a complete launch in 3 days where we were able to capture so much demand and so much traffic in just a short period of time, enabling the sellers to get the most they possibly could for that property. We also do drone footage, paid social media ads through Facebook targeting to those who are actively looking, email marketing, and brokers opens, where we'll throw a mini get together at the home, inviting all brokers and agents to come by to see if they have any clients who might be interested. But the goal behind marketing is to maximize exposure, create urgency, and capture demand. Question number 6, what are your costs of selling your home on the main line? Most agents will charge between 5 to 6%, which is also what we do, where half of that goes to the buyer's agent and the other half goes to the seller's agent. If the property's price point is over 2.5 million, that 5 to 6% can be negotiated lower, especially for very high price point properties. There's also transfer tax, which is 2%, typically split right down the middle between buyer and seller. Then there are title fees or attorney fees if you are bringing on your attorney, which can be $1,500, $2,000. Then there's other optional costs if you're doing repairs, staging, pre-inspections. But overall, when expecting to sell your property, you should anticipate 6 to 7% plus a few $1,000s to sell your home. Again, that's including the agent commissions, transfer tax, and the title fees. If you're curious the exact dollar amount for your potential situation, reach out to me. I'll have my number and email here. I'll send you a buyer estimated closing costs for your specific property so you can understand the closer dollar amount after all expenses are paid. Question number 7, how long will it take to sell my mainline home? Now that all depends on area, price range, and presentation. A local agent like myself will be able to give you a great range supported by a CMA. For example, if I see that 2 of your neighbors recently sold their home, within a 1 mile radius, around the same square footage, age and condition, and they sold it within 2 weeks, then we can assume the same for yours. But when selecting comparable properties, you have to be very careful that it actually compares. That's why you want a local agent, because block to block can be very different. You might be half a mile away from a comparable property, but it might not be an actual reasonable comp that you can price your home against. Again, that's why you want a local agent. But to give you a reasonable estimate, around 1.5 million and lower, if it's turnkey and properly priced, supported by comps, typically we're seeing them sell in under 20 days, with some selling in the first week. Then within the luxury market of 2 to 2.5 million and up, some things do typically take a bit longer, 30 to 60 days is normal, with properties in Gladwin and Villanova being an exception, where they are still selling very, very quickly, even though there is that much higher price point. But pricing your home is extremely crucial. You do not want to get into a price cut cycle. That is an absolute nightmare of a listing agent. And typically when you're getting into a price cut cycle, you are leaving money on the table because people are seeing the price being cut and they start to think, oh, is there a problem with the property? Why isn't it selling? The urgency is gone. The ability to capture demand diminishes. And typically homes that are in a price cut cycle will always sell for less than if you originally underpriced your home, captured all that demand, and squeezed it, getting a bidding war. And that's a strategy that we like to deploy. Compass, our brokerage, we have a private market, which gives us access to marketing properties without the public knowing about it and only the brokerage. We can test higher price points at no consequence where buyers won't see. Private market, there is no history. No one knows about it. It's completely hidden. So there is literally no consequence to pricing your home very high on the private market to test a small percentage of the overall market. If you have more questions about the private market and what it could possibly do for you, again, my contact information is right here. Feel free to call, text, email me anytime. It's not a bother whatsoever. I love informing people about all the different options they have when selling their home. And our last question, what if I need to buy and sell at the same time? And you're not alone. This is very common on the main line, where someone might want to be moving out of Ballackinwood and wants to get into Villanova, for example. Option 1 is home sale contingencies. These are contingencies we will put in our offer that makes our offer on a property contingent upon us selling our current residence. In this competitive market, typically those contingencies are not entertained. So there's a couple other unique creative ways to get around that. For example, if we have a good feeling that we could sell your home in under 30 days because the comps support that, then we can do a long settlement date, say 70 days out, until you purchase this new property. That gives you, around 70 days to sell your existing home. Now, there is a little bit of risk here. What if you don't sell your home in time when you have to pay for the new one? You need that equity to put into the new one. That is the risk there. But typically, especially in these markets, homes are selling quick. And if we have reason to believe your home will sell in under 30 days, which is typically the situation for most mainline homes where, oh yeah, my neighbor sold their house in like 7 days, but mine's better. Things like that will give us enough confidence to take a route like that where you are open to a little bit of risk. But that is last resort. We also recommend just getting a full mortgage for the new home if you'd like. And then once you sell your old home, you just roll that equity into the new one, paying down a lot of that mortgage. But if qualifying for that mortgage isn't possible, there is also bridge loans or HELOCs to help you purchase the first property without needing the equity from your existing one. If you want to talk more about these different options, again, my contact information, I can talk this through with you to see exactly how that would work in your situation with exact timelines. But like I said, I always advise my clients whatever they're comfortable with. I just want them to know the risks that are in case. With no home sale contingency, worst case scenario is you have to front the cash to buy this home. And if not, then we're not doing that plan. We'll do the full mortgage amount or we'll do a bridge loan, etc. You can sell your home on the main line with no strategy and it'll sell. That's not the problem. But selling it for top dollar is the difference. And that's what we did with our last listing. Cash deal, sold in 3 days, no inspections, done deal. And that's what we can do for you. So if you're thinking about selling your mainline home today, feel free to reach out. Like I said, contact information is on the screen. It's also down below if you want to work together. We have a link there. If you also want to just see how much your home is actually worth, so that link's there also. And also, if you want these facts on a printout, just so you can go over them at a later date, I also have another link down below where you can click that for a downloadable PDF just of the facts of today's video. And if you want to stay up to date on the main line and its markets and how the market is moving, make sure you're subscribed to stay in the loop with the mainline real estate market and how we can help you. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.